Welcome to another episode of Searching for MacGuffin with your host, George.
Dan, Gabe,
And Link.
Why is this a thing now?
I mean, that came out of nowhere. You can't blame us.
I mean, for those of us just listening to the show, you don't even want to know, okay?
that was awesome.
Oh, I thought you were laughing at Dan.
Well, I wasn't actually.
Dan!
I forgot he was. Dan's back!
Hey,
Dan, what's with you and the weird noises that you're making?
What are you talking
what
about?
noises? The audience doesn't know that happened off
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah, that happened in the planning stage of this episode, and
What about the one right now?
There's just one, so I don't know about noises.
yeah, noises
Be
is
the
plural.
noise.
Oh,
Noise is
whatever.
up.
The second time I hear it today.
So
I love it. Keep on doing it.
What is happening? What are we talking about?
I have no idea what we're talking about, and our listeners have even less idea. You probably have some sort of idea if you're watching, but this serves as a reminder that we are now available on YouTube. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, you can go ahead and click that episode link and it'll kick you right to it. But without further ado, your four main hosts are back together as Dan missed our season premiere last week. If you didn't listen or watch it, go ahead and find us. But we have a special guest this week. It's a young man I know as Mike. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Mike, but people now these days, they call me Bartholomew because I think it's an awesome name. But I went to high school, is how I know.
We don't use names. We don't use.
Yeah,
you're gonna
we
have
don't.
to. Yeah, we don't use personal. Yeah,
Information, yeah.
we're just gonna dub that out. Just for, yeah,
Okay.
just for the record, that was just the name of an institution. It wasn't a profanity laced tirade, because the last time we did that, everybody thought that we were just just going off
Just
the
potty
handle.
mouths on the show.
Yeah. So okay, so let's talk about that. Let's first start that. So you're our first guest this season, as we're trying to get a couple of other voices on the show with us. So today's topic is about gaming, and we're thinking who in our life has a little special insight into gaming. And I know throughout the years I've had conversations with you regarding gaming, and you actually have a really close, intimate connection to one of our other hosts.
Oh yeah, man. It's been forever since I've seen you, Gabe.
It really has been, considering that we never actually saw each other that time that we met. Well, we met before, but the time that, because I was alluding to a time that we had interacted before.
Mm-hmm.
It was during the pandemic. I don't know if you remember. I led a Smash tournament for no reason.
Oh, he was in
I
it?
remember.
Yeah.
I think we were all in it, actually.
Everyone
I
was in
was
it.
in that.
But
A lot.
the funny thing is that I wasn't in the tournament.
Yeah.
I
Oh.
remember the prize was whoever won got to shake your hand personally, but they had to close their eyes and
Yeah.
you won.
Dan, you were in this tournament too, right?
I lost to you.
Oh, that's right. It was actually
And it was the worst, just 5 minutes of our lives.
yeah. Luckily, all the other players weren't spectating the matches for everybody else's bracket, because it was literally like me and Dan taking turns, like jumping off the cliff. Like nobody actually got any kills. It was like me and Dan, like not knowing how to recover when you fall off the
The
level.
old-fashioned way. We played it the old-fashioned
That's
way.
right.
Felt like the GameCube.
Shout out to for me it was the N64. So
That kind of has its own meta behind it, you know? Its own mind games.
yeah.
It's actually funny. Like I literally was. It was during the pandemic. I had a roommate who would play it, and I have a lot of friends. We grew up playing it
Right.
as well, and I was just like, man, everyone talks. I kept on thinking people's stories about like people playing Smash. I just saw everyone talking trash about how good they are at this game. That I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna set up a tournament.
Yeah, a Smash Fight Club.
It was awesome.
And I didn't even play in it. I just got a bunch of people who might be interested or thought of someone that might be interested. And I asked you how to like start it, because I know you had some experience with setting tournaments up.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this, right?
Oh, yeah. So that was kind of weird, because like Gabe just out of nowhere is like, "How do you do a tournament?" We had started some esports at my school prior to the pandemic, which actually kind of brings us together, because you actually played on one of our teams, on the Smash team. So that's where I knew Mike from. I don't know who recommended him. Was it
I think
Dan?
it was probably Dan.
I feel like it was Dan.
Probably.
Dan doesn't
For
remember.
Smash?
Yeah, for the pandemic tournament that
It
he
might have been you.
Yeah,
Actually.
yeah.
It might have been you or Dan because of the
I mean, it
team.
could have been either one.
Yeah,
of
it could
us.
have been either one of us because I think my like other top rated player was also in the tournament, right?
Yeah,
And then you invited Link, I assume.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah. What made you
Ev-
join up?
Everyone that I knew played Smash. I told.
What,
to play.
why did I join?
Yeah.
Because I thought, oh, I used to be good at this. Let me see if I'm still good at this.
And the answer was.
I hate that game. I
What?
hate Smash. It's no fun. No
That's the
more.
last time I played.
Yeah, that was the last time I'm like, bro.
Yeah, because it was like
I only because at home I'm good, right?
against
Like,
the CPU.
against you, my brother, or my niece. I'm usually the better player.
Yeah, your niece that was like what, like 5 years old at
5
the
years
time.
old, exactly. I had to humble her, right? Because her father did not let me win when I was young, so I had to do the same thing to her, right?
Mhm. This is deep seated trauma that keeps emerging on this show.
Yes.
Because we're therapy.
Exactly, we are therapy. So I thought I was good. I found out soon that I was not good at Smash Brothers.
And that's kind of funny because it's gaming is a lifestyle for a lot of us. It's not like the big part of our lifestyle, but it is a big part of our lifestyle, if that's fair. And we're always kind of like paying attention to what's going on in the gaming sphere, and that's kind of what we want to talk about today. What did it feel like to you to just get like cold call and invited to this tournament that Gabe set up?
I was ready to kick out. Kick
All right,
but-
that's 2 faux pas right there. And
Season 2, baby.
yeah, this is why you're our first guest, so we can learn. So now I know, like, I know the big speech to give everyone at the start of our second
That was
guest.
great. That was great. I love it.
Who ended up winning this tournament, by the way? I have no idea.
Can I say names?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. Just like a first
Josue?
name.
Oh, he won?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was nasty.
Oh, I thought it'd be Luke.
Steen?
Skywalker.
Yeah, he wasn't even like.
You
second.
now you said a last
What?
name. I was literally like, yeah, first name's fine, and you're like, Steen.
What? My
Oh, did I say that?
Yes.
Listen, but I only used the last name.
Okay, guys. We
What?
Need to
He
stop.
said
There's a
Luke
lot
and
of
then you
extra-
Exactly.
There's a
He
lot
said the
of
first
extra
part.
work
I
for
said the
me.
second part.
Yeah, they don't. Which?
It's
Luke am
only if
talking
it's only
about?
if I use the whole full
Which
name.
Luke am I talking about? Which Steen is he talking about?
Exactly.
We'll never know.
You never
we'll
know.
never know.
My favorite part is Link's response where he's like, yeah, I
I thought because I really thought he was gonna win the whole thing. I even hyped him up. I was
He was
like,
good. I know you hyped him up, which is why I had a lot of anticipation for his progress, and I think he won like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
That's
His-
all somewhere.
man,
his Sephiroth
Luke, if
is
you're
really good.
watching this, disappointed in you, sir.
Whoever you are, Luke.
Whoever you are.
Whatever your last name is.
How'd you lose to Pikachu of all people? Come on now.
So, like I said, I alluded to gaming as a lifestyle, and it's like, how often do you guys game?
A lot.
And that number might be significantly lower than you'd expect nowadays, but
It depends. It
mean-
depends on what's happening. Am I on vacation? Do I have
Mm.
school? Do I not?
yeah.
It all depends what you determine as gaming. Because if you're asking me how often do I game every day. I play Pokemon Go every day.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, respect. I don't even know if I can say it. Cellular gaming, mobile gaming. I guess I don't want to respect that, but I mean, I also
I
do
think you
that.
should respect mobile.
I think you
gaming.
should.
They should respect
You know
it,
what?
Especially
Game
with Genshin. What is it called?
Impact.
Genshin Impact.
Impact.
Ge-
Like that-
Geisha Impact.
Geisha Impact
Miss
is very popular.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of games out there. You know what? Gaming is gaming. You know, we're not gatekeepers here. We're not snobs. What about you, Dan? How often are you gaming nowadays?
Like once on the weekends.
Okay.
That's about as much as I can get in.
Except for when your electricity's out.
Except for when my Wi-Fi's
Yeah,
out.
when your
and I
Wi-Fi's
put
out.
80 hours on
And
Breath
then,
of the
and then that
Wild.
mobile gaming really comes in, huh?
Well, no, because he had when his lights came back, he had a Zelda, right? And you how many hours did you pour into that recently? You said
80.
80 hours, and you hadn't beat it yet.
No, it was my first playthrough.
Which
Oh,
Zelda?
that's
of the
beautiful.
Wild.
Breath of the Wild, yeah,
What a great way to spend a hurricane.
yeah,
Playing Breath of
It
the Wild.
was.
yeah. In hindsight, it was kind of a blessing.
It really was. The whole world paused so that you
Yeah,
could
stops.
play
That's
Breath
crazy.
of the Wild.
Thank you, world.
What about you, Mike? How often are you gaming nowadays?
I mean, whenever I have free time, I'm basically always playing something.
Oh, so that's like your main hobby, recreation.
Yeah, if I'm not watching a video on YouTube, I'm playing games with my friends.
Yeah. We've talked about how our show kind of covers a lot of stuff. My lifestyle kind of covers a lot of stuff, and I'm kind of in seasons. Like I'm usually like playing or watching or doing, like I can only juggle like one hobby at a time. But even then, I think nowadays, like you said, I play Pokemon Go almost religiously daily. And I play, as some of you might be aware, Fortnite almost religiously.
every
Yeah,
day.
I do my dailies every day. It's like about 15 minutes. I'll play one match, two if I have extra time. But I dedicate about 15 minutes. It's part of my routine. I have it scheduled.
I'm giving you a disapproval nod.
I
And
think
I-
you should tell
I-
people how you play the game, though. I don't think it's like everyone
you
would
don't-
think.
You don't play. You play the game differently.
Yeah, I'm not a competitive guy, so I don't like competitive settings and I don't like competitive games. So I kind of play it as a story-based, challenge-based, mission-based game. So sometimes I'll do it in I'll go into a regular match, let everybody play the battle royale because it's just easier to complete some of the missions and challenges there. But then I also use Team Rumble a lot, which is kind of the like you respawn after eliminating. It's team versus team. Because that's just my goal, to complete all the challenges during the season. And there's like a story that goes along with it, and I actually follow it. And I know it's kind of like in the background for everybody else, but it's what sold me on the game, because that's when they started adding like an intricate series of missions. It was like, oh, this game's an actual game. It's not just like eliminating people with weapons. So, and then they added all the crossover characters that some of the fandom they like to kind of like criticize and harp on. But that's kind of what drew me to it. I love Marvel. I love DC, Star Wars. And they pretty much like crossover with like every franchise known to man. So it's kind of like a dream game to me. It's like my smash shooter, so to speak. So I've dumped way more money than I'm like proud of into the game. But it brings me a lot of joy. And like I said, I think gaming is gaming. So I won't criticize you if you're dumping money into Genshin Impact or Pokemon Go.
It's okay, because apparently I don't remember this. I must have blocked it
I
out.
remember this. I know exactly what
It
you're
must
gonna
have
say.
been blocked out from my memory, because when you brought it up, I was like, "There's no way I would have done that. Who does something stupid like that?" But I'm pretty sure it actually happened. I remember the time I was playing Star Wars. Was it Galactic Heroes? Or something
Galactic Heroes, yeah.
like Heroes or something like that. It's a mobile game.
Oh, I know what you.
And apparently, I remember one time, I think you were talking about it on one of the episodes,
Mm-hmm.
and we were talking about how you were just kind of like, you didn't know if like you wanted to say the story or not because
Right.
it'd be embarrassing. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, say it. I don't know what you're talking about. It can't be that embarrassing. Then you said it, and it was that I had bought like a bundle on the game for like Anakin and a bunch of other characters and a bunch of credits in this mobile game for like what, like $100?
You bought like, I believe you bought a $50 bundle, but then you bought it twice. And
I have
at the
so much
time,
respect for you.
go ahead, Dan.
I have a lot of respect for him.
You have respect.
I don't have respect for that.
Yeah, just.
But
you
the
just
okay,
went
but
for
the
it.
worst part is like, why twice?
I remember that at the time, because we were like in a family account. So like I would get the bills for your charges. And like at the time you told me, oh, I accidentally bought it twice. And I was like, I don't know about that. Because also I said, oh, if you accidentally bought it twice, you know that you could just put in the request to get a refund on the second one. And your answer was, nah, I'm okay.
But it was the same bundle, right?
Yeah, it was the same bundle.
I don't see why I would buy the same bundle twice, because the bundle usually comes with characters. There's no reason I would get
No, it was like a currency. It was like a monetized like
$50.
yeah, it was like whatever you use to buy characters in the game.
Bro, you were committed. You were committed. Like,
I can't
Embrace it.
even believe that. I'm not a frugal person now. I can't even believe I did that back then.
Yeah.
full send.
I have an embarrassing story like that too. I played Magikarp Jump, the game where you just press Magikarp and he jumps higher and higher, and like I had beaten like all the circuits, but I couldn't unlock the last one, so I got this thing called the Diamond Miner, and like it's just like a drill that lets you unlock diamonds so you can progress faster, just so I could 100% the game, and it was like $35, and this game is literally like, it's a nothing game. It's like a just touch it, like there's no challenge to the game at all, and I spent like an unlimited unlock like item for no reason. I could have just not finished the game. It was so unsatisfying too. Like at the end, I was like, okay, I 100% of the game, but what did I accomplish?
I mean, you got to hear the cute Magikarp song.
Oh, I did get to hear that. You guys,
Worth it.
That's
yeah.
a W in my book.
You guys have any purchases maybe that you regret or that you can't believe that you did? Anybody in the gaming sphere?
I recently bought the new Mario Strikers for the Switch,
Yeah.
and I played like two.
We hyped this game up
We
so
hyped
much.
this game so much. I thought we were all gonna get into a league and play.
We all did get the game.
We all got the game.
Dan created a
I
league.
made a league.
I got it. I bought it. I opened it a month later from the seal. Played it. I did the the introduction, like how to play.
Yeah.
I played 2 games and I'm like, bro, I don't like this. So I put it back. I'm like, I'm gonna just keep it there in my shelf. Later on, I have a friend,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, oh, he heard about it. He's like, oh, I want to play this game. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it to you. I'll send it. He lives in Tennessee. I'll send you the game because I don't care about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then another friend a week later goes, oh, I wanted to play that game so bad. I'm like, I'll give it to you.
Ooh.
So I ended up giving it her instead.
Oh wow.
So that other friend, I promised him the game and he never received it.
Wow.
Would you get? No, I can't.
No, yeah. Let's stop doing this. Yeah.
He lives in
Yeah,
Tennessee.
please.
He lives in Tennessee.
Yeah.
But she lives here.
Here, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
He
want.
lives in Tennessee.
I didn't want to pay for
but
the shipping.
She lives here.
Yeah, it's easier to just give it to her.
Her.
What about you?
This girl's like a sister to me, so that's why I was like, oh, here you go.
Yeah. Okay. Like a little sister.
Like a little sister, yeah.
Well, when I was a kid, I had a game on my phone. I think it was an Angry Birds racing game. I don't remember the
Yeah. Angry Birds Racers. Yeah, I remember that.
And well, there was a character that was very good in that game. I think it was a yellow bird, because he's a fast one, right? So
Right.
has got to have the fastest car. I really wanted that bird, so I kind of just used my mom's card and bought it.
How old are you?
I think I was like 7
You were 7.
or 8.
Did your
I
mom
was
get mad?
I was 22.
Yeah.
I was 22 when I spent my money, so there's a difference there.
Did your mom get mad at you?
She got really mad at me, and I knew she was mad at me because my dad comes into my room and was like, "What did you just do?"
Oh.
And I'm like, "Uh-oh, how did she find out so fast?" And to like hide the punishment, because I knew, oh, she's gonna take my phone away, right? So I put my phone under my bed. I'm like, "Oh, genius! She'll never think
never
twice to look there."
Mom's just so dumb.
Jeez.
That's
My mom is it. I remember I mistakenly used my mom's card. Used my mom's card for an Uber Eats purchase because I wanted to try out this new place, bro. She kicked that door down and she's like, "What are you doing? What have you done?"
They hadn't even delivered it yet.
It wasn't there yet. She was like, "Why am I getting a charge from Uber?" And I'm like, "I mistakenly put your card instead of mine, so
I mistakenly input the 16-digit number.
I mistakenly put in the security code in the back."
Is
I-
your
Sorry.
fault for leaving it
I
there?
bought us lunch. That's what you should have said.
No, you abandoned all hope. I bought you lunch.
Yeah.
Dad, any big purchase regrets?
I'm filtering through them.
Oh, you have like a laundry list?
Yeah, like I spent stupid amount of money on like CS:GO skins.
Did you buy Anthem?
I did not,
Dude, I bought
because
Anthem. That was an L. Did you buy Cyberpunk?
I was telling people no.
I bought
told you I didn't
Cyberpunk.
buy it,
I
though.
bought Cyberpunk for $10.
That's not that bad.
Yeah, but it still haven't put
That's
it in.
worth it.
So. It came in a
That's still
tin,
worth
a
it, though.
collectible tin. I feel like that's what I paid for.
It's
The
$10.
collectible
It's
tin.
like a meal.
Yeah. Oh, so going back to Mario Strikers, I was away in Hawaii and Alaska during that stretch. So when I came back, I was like, all right, guys, are we really doing this? Because the game had came out. And all of you assured me we were definitely doing it. So I bought the game late and I paid full price.
Guys, I think we should like
awesome.
try.
No, we should try.
We should
I think
try.
we definitely should
I
try.
don't know. I already gave the game.
Well,
away.
without
Please?
Link. Without Link. Oh, actually, Link, you should buy the game again.
Oh no! Get the game back from my friend. Like, hey, I need this now. It's mine
Even
again.
though you
No,
gave it to them.
Send the new one to the guy in Tennessee.
That's right.
Come on.
And then he can join our league.
Does the guy in Tennessee listen to us?
Maybe.
Okay, that's the right answer. Okay, so let's talk about how gaming has emerged as this like giant corporate entity, right? We got these big game developers swallowing up all these studios, and you've got the little guy, right? The indie studios who are still trying to, carve their little niche into the gaming
Niche?
sphere. Yeah, that sounds good. Dan. Niche. We'll go with that. They're trying to find their own space along the market. What are some of the pros and cons of big developers versus these smaller indie games?
I feel like with the smaller indie games, because they don't have so much at stake, they are able to be more creative, right? The wackier the idea, like, what do we have
I think
to
they
lose,
have
right?
more at stake.
I don't know. I feel like
They don't.
They
I
get
feel
one
like they don't
shot.
have as much to like. They don't have a distinct
yeah,
theme to follow. I guess from big studio companies, you kind of expect similar games.
yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay, Dan, you said you think they have more at stake. Why?
Because this is it. Usually these
'Cause if
people
they
get
fail, they
one
lose.
game and that's it.
But
for
you're
the
right.
studio.
But they go all in this one game.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is different. You get me?
So I think
I look at the guy that Concerned Ape, the guy that did Stardew Valley. He literally went all in on this one game, right? On this farming simulator game, and he had nothing to lose, right? Like other than
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure you had
time,
plenty.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. But he went
Oh,
all in.
yeah,
on
but
this
you don't
game.
think that they spent money?
He
and-
spent money? Yeah, he went all in on this, right?
Yeah.
It was a
And
passion
it
project.
was a passion project for him, and it turned out to be a success. Like I bought the game 7 times.
Yeah, we've covered your love for Stardew Valley in
But yeah,
detail.
so I feel like in indie games they tend to be a little bit more creative. Like there was this game that I've been wanting to get. It's called Bear and Breakfast, where you're literally a bear and you're in charge of a bed and breakfast.
Sounds awesome.
That does sound beautiful.
But yeah, so I feel like you won't get that from EA. You won't get a game like that from EA or.
Well, you might, but it's few and far between. And
Yeah.
it's usually when like there's like a nice little developmental studio that just got bought out and they're put on a project.
Yeah.
Or they buy out a game. Like I know Epic loves to do that. Like they bought Fall Guys, they bought Rocket League, which
Oh,
kind of started
They
off
also
as
love
fans.
to buy stuff and then do nothing with it.
That's
Making a Rock
absolutely
Band.
true. Well, like Rocket League, you say?
Rip Rock Band.
Oh, Rock Band. Well, they
Harmonix.
didn't buy Rock Band. They bought Harmonix, and they had
thing.
no because what a lot of people don't know is they work on a lot of that music stuff for Fortnite. In fact, that just last season when the season ended, there was like a downtime. That instead of just downtime, it had an AI that created music in real time.
Oh,
So
wow.
like all the music that was streaming for those 24 hours was music that was being created in real time by this AI. So they're putting them to use, just probably not where like some of us,
Okay, but
especially.
what if we had Rock Band 5?
Absolutely. What if we had Rock Band 5? That's a question probably for
Instead
another
of
day.
that AI doing nothing.
Is there money in Rock Band 5?
Our money.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
show specifically will
We can
invest.
fund it.
Yeah, I've also spent probably, I want to say hundreds, but it might have cracked $1,000 on Rock
Man,
Band through the years.
It's just that concept to me is it's so much fun to play that type of game, especially with other people. I don't
Those party games, right?
know. Maybe people
That
just,
is the best party game.
Yeah.
In
This
my opinion.
this side of Boomerang Fu, right? The $2 game that I've played endless hours with so many different people with.
It's a game that keeps on giving.
Yeah. It's cross generational. Like you said, thematically, they can take big risks, right? But for every Stardew Valley, there's like tons of studios that they take their shot, they miss for a multitude of reasons. Sometimes the game isn't up to snuff. Sometimes the game is great and it just doesn't find an audience, right? It just doesn't have the marketing power to get it in the hands of gamers. And I think that what Dan's saying is right. It's like a huge risk for these.
It's an uphill battle for them because they don't
Absolutely.
have the resources to advertise. They don't have the name
Yeah.
that other companies have. It's
Sometimes
like,
they,
I look at the
Yeah.
sorry.
No,
I
go
didn't mean
ahead.
to cut you off.
No,
I
go
look
ahead.
at the developers for like Cuphead. They were that's a extremely like labor intensive game.
Yeah.
All hand drawn.
a work
Everyone
of art.
quit their jobs.
Mhm.
one's Cuphead?
It's a very hard game.
It's like the
The little
all
cup
all
guys.
of the graphics are animation, like they're 2D hand drawn. If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
they're actually hand.
Yeah, they're hand-drawn
hand-drawn,
animations.
And the backgrounds are like models. Like
And it's like a live band making the music too, I believe.
Like there's
Yeah.
there's a live band. Like every time you boot up the game, they have to start playing
yeah,
music.
they're inside your console. They're just
It's just like a mini canteen event.
Yeah.
exactly.
A button goes off, like, oh no, someone's playing Cuphead, and they just have to start playing.
I don't know how they do
10
that.
out of
It's
10 on
crazy.
Steam. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I mean they have a show on Netflix, which is like more for kids. I know Dan was a little disappointed about
Yes.
that, but
It's all right.
Netflix disappointing Dan. What's new?
anyways, you were saying Dan.
No, I think it's just that was their all or nothing shot.
Yeah.
No, not really any backup plan there. They were just like, we're gonna make this game, and if it doesn't work out, then just a niche game that it goes under the radar again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because and you're right, and they have everything to lose, but at the same time, like they have nothing to lose. Does that make sense? Like I can go all out and
Right,
create the
insert-
game that
yeah.
I want.
They
and
can
be
create the game they
creative.
want. They might crash
Yeah,
and burn, but
or-
they're going down in a blaze of
Yeah.
glory. Yeah.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you succeed, congrats, man. Kudos. You made the perfect game that you wanted, and everyone's playing it, and everyone loves it. That's what every game developer wants.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, it doesn't happen. I mean, like anything, like any industry, right?
Yeah, like us.
Yeah, pretty much like us.
Yeah. I mean, most of these
True.
indie games are like those people's first time making a game.
Mm-hmm.
So like, there's a games are very complicated to make. Like this, not even budget, just like all the planning of what the game is gonna be about, actually getting people to help you. Like,
Sure.
it's
Yeah.
that's the pro that AAA studios have. They
Yeah.
have that experience making games. That's why they're constantly able to like push games out, multiple games, like every year, every month even. And they're always consistent, I would say. Like a majority of AAA games, even if they're kind of sameish sometimes, they have that consistency that you know what you're getting into when you buy one of these games.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Oh, like because you mentioned you look. Actually, you mentioned this earlier, but we were talking before the show hit record about like games that you were looking forward to. You mentioned like your Call of Duty, and like there's those franchises. I think every one of us has the franchises that we're kind of attached to. We know they're not the best game in the world, but whether it's a sports title or a shooter or whatever AAA title, you kind of know like even if you're not going to check it out every year, you have your eye on it because you kind of know you
Oh,
like
yeah.
that kind of game.
I mean, that's kind of just that's the gamer I guess I've become. I think before when I was younger and I had more time, I was just I'd play a more story-based game and,
Yeah.
and more like achievements to unlock and trophies to unlock, whatever it is.
Nobody cares about trophies.
But I think as I got older and the way that my habits formed, I think gaming became more of a social thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's always a title that it's like I need to beat on my own, like Spider-Man or something like
Right.
that. Something that calls to me specifically, either to my childhood or whatever it may be. But for me, I think just gaming just became like a very social thing because it's night and day my enthusiasm to play with the boys or a group of people in whatever it is. It's Uno or Among Us
Yeah.
or Call of Duty versus me having to grind Call of Duty on my own. And I don't care for Call of Duty like that in that sense, to play on my own,
Right.
to want to beat the game. I mean, sometimes like the story mode, sure, the plot, whatever. But the main thing that attracts me to those games, that those yearly titles, is the fact that I can play with my friends. And so, like, obviously, there's some times where the game just sucks and we kind of fall out depending on where we are. Like, depending on where we are in life, we might not all get together to play that game. I remember the past two Call of Duties I haven't really played.
Yeah.
But this one is a continuation of the one that got us all back into playing it, Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
So there's hype around it, and my friends are already talking about, getting the group back together to play it. I'm gonna have to find like time to carve out with the schedule that I have now because I'm
Right.
so busy. But to me, that's an important aspect. That's one of the things that like really does bring me joy. is no matter where my friends are, like if they're in different parts of the states of the world, whatever it is, that we set out time to we carve out a time to sit down and play together. And it's one of the things that I enjoy about video games. For me, I think has become the biggest thing is the social aspect.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of, for me at least, story-based games. I feel like I have so much time with like TV and film
Yeah.
that in those aspects, I feel like games kind of were trying to become that in a sense, or at least the ones I was playing, or the ones that I gravitate towards. And I feel like I get so much content of that from TV and games that I'm just like, I'd rather just do that passively and then play with my friends actively.
Yeah.
In that case, that, and then I think the only other thing I play on my own is like FIFA or something, just because
Because you love soccer.
yeah.
Yeah.
FIFA sucks, but like I'm gonna play it every year. Like it just is what it is.
Are you more interested in like EA Football Club or whatever
I have no idea what to expect, man.
Okay.
I honestly it's something that's never happened. Like FIFA's been out for 23 years, like 20 plus years, and it's gonna be the first time that they're like getting away from the FIFA name. So it's like, I don't know, it's uncharted territory.
Yeah. I'm kind of in the same place with like I used to play WWE every year, and then they like started developing this AEW game, so I didn't buy it. I think it might have been last year, maybe the year before that. I don't remember what the last one I played. I think it was 21. So maybe I didn't buy 22 in 21, and then I don't even know if there's a 23. But like I've been waiting for this other game, but I haven't played a wrestling game in like years, and I don't know. I'm gonna wait to see if the AEW game's good. But I'm kind of getting that itch. Like, I miss those quick matches. Just that was a game that I could play for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then just jump off. So I'm kind of in the same, like, I don't know what to expect next. You mentioned the social aspect of gaming, getting together with the boys or your friends or your family, coworkers. Uno, the pandemic. I know that. I started playing Monopoly and Uno on the Switch because we couldn't get together with game night. Like, we had like a group of teachers and friends that we would like get together, quote unquote, on the weekend. And we like just started buying games like that, like together to play things we would usually play physically. We would play them. That was an interesting experience.
During the pandemic,
Yeah.
for some students for their graduation, we had it through Animal Crossing.
Well, actually, two of those students
Two
are
of those
are on
students
the
are
show
here,
today.
yeah.
Yeah,
For
actually.
Danny and
Think of how special it is for
Bartholomew,
them.
we
How good teacher? Yeah,
we
how
gave,
good,
they
how good
do it.
faculty and staff are we that
Yeah.
we designed a graduation
On
stage
Animal
and
Crossing.
we delivered robes to them through the
Yeah, that's
mail.
neat.
I mean, listen,
We
I
had an
think-
admin
was
there as
awesome.
well.
Yeah, we got
So
we had a
an
principal.
I
Yeah,
think something like that is special. To be honest, it's like because of the pandemic, like it's such a crappy situation.
yeah.
You couldn't have in-person graduations, and
Yeah.
I think like
You
making
got-
the effort and doing something, especially like obviously not everyone's into Animal Crossing, not everyone's into video games in that class, but like for some people it is all they're getting.
Yeah.
And I mean, for these guys, it was. I mean, I don't know. I can't speak to how you
Danny,
took it, but
Danny
it's
and
like
Bartholomew.
that must be nice to get
Which
something.
graduation did you like better? Your drive-through graduation or the Animal Crossing graduation?
The Animal Crossing one.
Good, because
that
you're
was
on the
fun.
air.
Yeah,
you better
good.
have said
You
the
better
Animal
say
Crossing
that.
one.
No,
Yeah.
I
Animal
was
Crossing,
enjoying
Animal
it
Crossing.
from my couch. So
You
I was like,
understand
oh, this is
how
nice.
many hours
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
put into
instead of-
this?
We spent a lot of
Set
time
about-
getting that graduation together. Maybe more than we did for your drive-through graduation.
Good.
It was really nice though. It was really special.
Yeah. And I remember like you could only have like 8 people on the island at a time. So there was like a whole group of people who wanted to visit and we had to kick them and then let
Get
them
out of
move.
here.
Yeah,
That's
they're like
not for you.
yeah, it would be like a guest would be on the island for too long and then everyone would just surround them and start
Talking
hitting
about
them
just
with
like a
nets.
random,
Yeah. What?
like a random person.
No, like other students. There were other students
Oh.
who they wanted to attend, like
With
to
the
visit.
I
graduation.
thought
Right?
I thought a random person just came to your island. Just like, is this a graduation? What's going on?
No.
Leave.
No, if you think it's hard to like manage who gets a ticket to real life graduation,
Animal Crossing graduation.
yeah, it was those
Exclusive.
tickets were those
Did you
tickets
get
were in high
Did you
demand.
get KK to perform?
Oh, I was like KK,
Yeah.
yes, Slider, yes.
Slider. Sorry.
Yes, we
I
had a
gotta-
performance
I
by
thought we
KK.
weren't doing full names here, so I just did the first part.
No, it's just you started saying KK, and I was like, how's this gonna end? And I was like, oh, Slider. Okay, cool.
I got you.
All
I
right.
think he was busy that day though. Did a concert.
No.
He was on tour.
No, I think we did it. We specifically did on a Saturday. That's what it is. Saturday evening, or
Really?
no? I don't even
I
know.
don't know.
I don't know. That sounds good. Yeah, we had musicians. It was fine. It was great. It was fantastic. Any other pros and cons? Big developers versus indie games.
What's the last indie game you played?
Donut County.
Okay.
Let me think. I think you guys heard of this game called Enter the Gungeon?
Yeah,
I've been
yeah. You
playing
made
that.
me buy that game.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Haven't.
I was playing it again recently.
Okay. You were like obsessed with that game.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember.
Danny, what's the game game that you told me, like Moonlighter?
Oh, Moonlighter.
Oh yeah.
Moonlighter. I got that
Yeah,
game.
I
was
love
playing-
Moonlighter.
Yeah, I enjoy. I am a fan of those like 8-bit games or 32-bit games. I'm not sure what they're called.
No, they're 8. What 32? That's like
It's like
I don't
That's
know.
too much power.
Too much power. But yeah, so I'm a fan of that pixelated style. So that's
Feel that.
I got tired of those games. Is that weird? Like I was like, this is so cool.
Shame
Retro
on you, because
throwbacks.
You grew up playing them.
I love
Yeah,
those
well,
games.
because it was at first it was like a blast from the past. It was like, oh, this is just like the games I used to play. And then like after the 15th one, I'm like, okay, I get it. You guys don't have a budget, so you're just gonna do an 8 or
I don't
16 bit
think.
game.
Man, I don't think it's like a nostalgia pool. I think it's just preferred art style.
Yeah.
I think it is
Yeah.
for my generation. You know what I'm saying? Because it's you can do. I saw games progress from 8-bit to what we have today. So for me, it is nostalgia. Like if it's my wow, I froze up there.
Glitching out.
Oop, that's a deep cut. If you bring up He-Man, My Little Pony, G.I. Joe, there's no way those things aren't nostalgia for me. That might not be why you're making the new show, toy line, video game, movie, but it is for me. It's always going to be nostalgia because I saw the development from the ground up. You know what I mean? So I can't look at an 8-bit game, a 16-bit game, and not think, oh, this is like a game like how we used to make them. You know?
I mean, I'm the opposite. Like I'll literally go on Steam and type 16-bit game and look at those games like I want to play this.
Yeah.
That's a genre that I like.
What about you, Dan?
Slime Rancher 2, baby.
Slime
Oh, I
Rancher
heard about
2?
Bro, I bought this game
Yes.
on Switch and I haven't played it.
You're just a girl on a planet,
No, I'm not.
and you're. Yes, you are. Yeah, you're just on a planet, and you're a farmer with some slimes.
Man, people really love this agricultural
About it.
lifestyle
Yeah.
games.
I love those games, man. They
I think we should
always get
return
me.
to that.
You know,
They're just
I
relaxing.
think we will, but in real life soon.
you know what indie game I loved? Untitled Goose Game.
Yeah, I love that game.
That game was
That game
one of
was-
the best 2 or 3 hours of my life.
Does Little Big Planet count as a indie
No, that's a
game?
AAA title, bro.
No,
That's
Like the first one?
yeah. It's
think
by
it's
it's published by Sony.
Bro, I can't even tell you what indie game I've actually played then.
Untitled Goose Game is a game that like I waited with bated breath for the multiplayer, and then once it launched, we were just busy and we haven't
We
done
never
it.
played it yet.
But me and Link have to do like a sit down playthrough of the whole game together as two gooses because I think that would be the most fun, most annoying like playthrough.
Is
Love
Wordle an
that
indie game?
Wordle is
It's owned by a
Very odd
It's a
pulls
little
here.
tricky there.
yeah, it's New York Times.
yeah, it's kinda, they're not indie, man.
They're AAA.
They're
yeah, they're
Sudoku?
yeah. Okay, now you're just doing like puzzle games online.
Is chess an indie game?
You know, there's
okay.
a really
What about that game where you're like running and something's chasing you and all you have is like the camera is like it's just facing you
Temple Run.
and you're like
Temple
this? No.
Run.
Like the camera's here and
Subway
then something's like
Surfers.
chasing you and it's kind of scary. You're like
Is-
a little person. You're
Is it
running
an
away from
endless
victims.
runner?
No,
No?
not like a mobile game.
It's not like a
on-
mobile game?
I just forgot what it was called. It was pretty creepy. I think that's the last.
Oh,
The
inside.
Chrome
Yeah,
dinosaur?
Inside.
dinosaur.
Inside. He's talking about
I
Inside.
think that's what I was talking about.
That's a great game.
Was that an indie game?
Yeah. I know it had like exclusive distribution by Microsoft at first. It was part of that like summer of gaming, but it's like everywhere now. Yeah.
That's the side-scrolling one, right? If I
Yeah.
remember
Oh no, is Inside the first one or the second one?
I don't remember.
Beats me.
You know what we're talking about, Dan?
No, don't look at me. I have
What
no
the
idea.
black and white like
I
the
am looking
kid
at you.
I
with
know-
the spiders in the
I know
shadow?
what you're talking about, but I forgot if that's inside.
There was a
Because that studio made another game.
yeah, they made another one. It's like there's another game. It's like a spiritual successor, like a pseudo sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
No, and I think that one's called Inside. Actually, now we don't know what we're talking.
What about Five Nights at Freddy's? Is that
That is
Oh, that's awesome.
No?
again. That's a
AAA?
mobile game. I don't think
No,
What?
that's an indie game. It started
That came
as
out-
Yeah,
an
that
indie
is an
game.
indie game.
it
VR.
started off. Well, it's VR now. Did it not start off as a mobile game?
No,
It
it's
started
on
on
PC.
Steam.
Really, it started on Steam.
is the VR count as an indie? Game?
I mean, it depends. They make Iron Man and Darth Vader VR games.
I mean, I guess they were an indie.
They were, so they
developer.
weren't when I played it on VR. So no, I haven't played it in any. I'm a fraud.
Okay.
Support small businesses.
We weren't really
Buy
gonna
indie
talk
games.
about this, but VR, like, what's that about? You think there's a future in VR?
Kill it, shoot it,
Right?
take it behind the barn and shoot it.
I don't know. VR.
But
Cool.
through VR.
I do think it
Yeah,
is.
VR.
I do think it is cool, but it's kind of like a cool sidestep. I don't think it's the future of gaming.
As a main, as to like play it, like no, I don't think like Ready Player One type of thing.
Yeah, well, like the news just came out, right? That like Meta is coming out with their like $1,500 VR setup, and like they're gonna have Game Pass
But
on
that's
it.
like,
which we're
but
gonna
they're
talk
trying to
about
like, that's like replacing life, right? Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
right.
it's
point.
kind of like Sims in real life.
Yeah,
Hey guys,
yeah.
they got legs today. The avatars got legs today. We gotta give them a big congrats.
On
The
Meta,
metaverse, yes. The
bro, I didn't
metaverse
even know they
has
were
legs.
avatars. I mean, that makes sense. Like
That was dogma.
Yeah.
the
Big-
metaverse.
Big shout out.
Bro, I thought you were talking about like the Avatar Netflix show
Shout
that he
out.
got legs or something. I'm like,
Hey.
what?
Shout
thought-
No, no,
Shout
no.
out to Mark Zuckerberg. You finally got legs.
That is
We're
not.
not shouting.
We're not
him
shouting
out.
out Mark Zuckerberg on
Doesn't
this
he-
show.
doesn't he
That's,
watch
And he
this?
literally said, "Shout out to Metaverse. They got legs."
no, he
Hey, I
said.
didn't say Mark though. I
Yeah,
didn't say Mark.
Yeah, he didn't say Mark. You're a Mark.
They're synonymous.
You know what kind of Mark you are.
I am.
There's like a two-party system in place, right?
For what?
For gaming, there's a two-party system. I thought like was gonna interrupt me and say Republicans and Democrats, but Microsoft.
I
I
distracted
don't
him
do
for you.
political comedy.
I'm glad you don't like political comedy. There's Microsoft and there's Sony. Nintendo's kind of on their own. They're
I like Nintendo. Nintendo does whatever they want.
No, that's why I hate Nintendo.
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause they have too
controversy,
much-
controversy. Some of our fans will love this.
okay. Why do you
They
hate
have
Nintendo?
they have no competition. I mean, we kind of talked about this before, but they have no like real threat, so they're
Yeah.
not worried. Breath of the Wild is still $60 because you can only get it there.
That's true. Maybe soon it'll be $80. Maybe the prices will start going up.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't doubt it.
You know how many games were inspired like by Breath of the Wild?
Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm just kidding. I don't know if
No.
that's a joke or not.
Genshin.
But I don't know. Like I feel like Nintendo's on their own, but they inspire. people.
No, you can't sell it. It's been 5 years. You can't sell it for $60 still.
Oh, Nintendo. No.
Nintendogs?
What do you
They're selling for
mean?
$60?
No,
They
no,
made
you
the
Bro,
can't sell Breath
Nintendos
of
are
the
criminals,
Wild.
bro.
Good luck getting Nintendogs for $60.
What do you mean?
You can't sell Breath of the Wild
See,
for $60
it's because
5 years
Nintendo's
later.
on their own that they do games like Nintendo, right? Like, who would have made that game? Other
Okay.
than Nintendo?
Are we in a better place because they made Nintendogs?
I mean, I was.
I
when that
was.
game- Yeah, that game was awesome.
Before I had this show, that was my therapy.
Yeah. Yeah, I had therapeutic dog in Nintendogs.
I know-
Is that what they're called?
It was like, I remember when I got the DS, it was Nintendogs and Trauma Center.
Right.
I
Oh,
would play it
Trauma
back together.
Center.
That was good. I remember.
I feel like Nintendo innovates. Sometimes it's not as they don't execute it
Well,
properly.
they are way okay.
properly, but they
do-
innovate compared to
No.
compared
They
to
do not innovate. They're always lagging behind. They just do. They just take advantage of their limitations and they do
Oh, they
more
know
with
that
them.
they're
But they're
limited.
behind.
Audience.
They're not innovating.
They
in
innovate.
any
Okay,
way.
what about I think you're
this-
both right because I think they lag behind in
both
serious areas like we don't even have wallpaper backgrounds for the Nintendo Switch, okay? But Link is right in the sense that what about like movement? They're the only ones. They like took over the world with the Wii and then they did it again with the Switch while Sony and Microsoft's attempt at these things have
Failed.
all failed and
That's
fallen to the
true.
wayside.
Yeah.
I guess
I think that power it's got into their heads though because I mean, you guys watched the latest direct, right?
No, tell us about it.
the
Well-
Mario movie.
Well, no, not that one. That one's awesome.
Super
But
excited.
the one before that, where like, I think there was like 2, 3 like noteworthy games in that like I want to say 40-minute direct,
Okay.
and
There's
like
a lot of indie games, a lot of games where you could do farming
yeah,
now.
a lot of farming, but not a lot of them are indie. Like
There was a
them
lot
are,
of farming. You're
There's
right.
a lot of farming.
A lot
Stardew
of them
Valley.
were Square Enix published games.
Yeah.
Square Enix was going crazy with the farming games.
And there are also games that are available on other platforms.
Yeah.
Which is I don't think what you go to the Switch for.
yeah, like I think they announced Resident Evil 7 or no 8. I think they announced 8, but like
The
through
cloud. Yeah, that's terrible. Cloud gaming on the Switch is not a great idea.
It's awful.
But the other thing is, I think they announced, I don't know if it was recently because I try not to keep track, but Resident Evil 4 was being re-released somewhere. And I'm like, bro, if I buy this game one more time in my life, like I love the game, but geez, man, like every device known to man has like 3 versions of this game. Like Resident Evil 4. Capcom, stop releasing Resident Evil 4. I know Elder Scrolls is like the same thing for a lot of people. I've only purchased it once, but stop releasing the same games over and over. Microsoft and Sony, what are you guys playing? What systems do you guys have?
I have an Xbox. The white one.
The white one, I think it's an Xbox
S.
S. Yeah. Not a Series S, an S.
I want a PS4 5 though.
Do you?
Yeah.
I kind of don't.
You know what's crazy?
What?
I like the games that are in those.
That thing came out 2 years ago. You can't even pick up
Still
the
can't
out of
pick
the
it up.
store.
Can you
What
believe
is-
that?
what
This is
is
the world that we
That's
live in.
Man,
also
how about food,
ridiculous.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to play. What's the name of the Japanese game?
Yakuza?
No.
That too.
No.
Ghost of Tsushima?
Ghost of Tsushima. That's
Yeah.
all I want to play.
But like you can play some of these games for like practically free on PS4 or even on a cloud-based server, PlayStation Plus. Like you can do it on your PC,
Oh yeah.
He doesn't
Yeah,
have
but
any of those.
Yeah.
but you can because you can just get a subscription and then it's over.
Rather play it
What?
on the PS5.
PlayStation Plus is a cloud-based subscription that you can play on PC.
No, okay.
Huh,
He wants
I
to
didn't
play
know
it to
that.
the fullest of its capability.
You have
a PC?
right?
But you don't have this is the thing with me. Xbox Series X,
What's
PS5.
he gonna play it on though?
on anything, it's streaming. You don't need specs to play.
You can play it on the Xbox.
No man, on a PC, dude.
I can play it on my Mac.
What
Yeah,
he-
you can play it on your Mac. Why wouldn't you?
Or want to play it on the PS5.
Okay.
Because you want to
Yeah,
take
I would get
advantage
that.
of the capability.
But you can't
Yeah.
take advantage of
You can't
capability
say
if
that.
you don't have like 10 like what is it? Variable refresh rate and like I don't know what other specs, 120 hertz, 4K. Like if you don't have a top of the line TV, you're not really taking advantage of
do.
the next gen system.
I do.
Do you?
I
Yeah.
bought one. Remember?
You bought with variable refresh rate?
Yes.
Oh, then you should get
But
it.
his
should
Mac
get
isn't
one.
gonna.
See,
do
so
that.
he
His
should
Mac
get
isn't
a
gonna perform
PS5.
that.
You should get a PS5 now.
Good.
Do it right now.
Are we doing it? Just order
Oh,
it.
right now? No.
Yeah,
no.
order
Buy
it.
it
No, no,
right
no, no.
now.
Order it right now,
Live
live
on
on the air.
I don't even know how. I'm not gonna get one.
Doesn't matter. Pay whatever. You bought that TV.
Marketplace, bro.
Yeah, you bought that TV, man.
I did buy that TV.
What TV do you have?
A Husong. I don't know what
Hisense?
Hisense, yeah,
Hisense?
I have no idea, bro. But it's a nice
Okay.
50-something inch screen TV.
Very nice.
And let me tell you what I use it for:
What do you use it for?
Crunchyroll, Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max.
The classics.
Chef's kiss. Gaming is more accessible than ever. It's like you said it's on your TV, it's on your computer, it's through the cloud now. And sometimes I don't even buy games anymore. I don't know about you guys. I like Nintendo. It's the only games I buy, and even
Only buy
then,
Nintendo games, yeah.
yeah, and even then I stopped. I was like, Metroid. I looked it up. 10 hours. Link's getting it. Okay, I'm gonna borrow
That
it.
game was great.
Yeah, that's a great game.
Didn't
That
get
is
to
a really
beat it.
good
It got hard.
Yeah, I've been waiting for him to beat it so that I can beat it.
Can't. I feel like if I go back to playing it, I have to start all over again.
Yeah.
Nah,
And I don't want to
it'll
do
click.
that. I don't want to do that.
After Sword and Shield, I didn't get Diamond and Pearl.
That was a waste.
I didn't
That
think
was a
those
waste of
games were
money.
good.
That was a waste of money. Like three.
You know what? That's
Pokemon?
that's a game I wasted my money.
Pokemon's
Po-
so innovative.
Because at least I was able to give away strikers to a friend, and I know that she enjoyed it. Who am I gonna give Pokemon to? That's who's gonna enjoy Diamond.
No one's
Steam.
gonna enjoy Diamond and Pearl. No one is gonna
Steam.
enjoy it.
That one,
Steve
that
will
one was
enjoy
a
it.
mistake. That one was
You
a
know,
mistake.
or your other friend Luke.
I'm gonna send it to my friend Luke.
Just
Just
two
make sure-
completely separate
Just
friends.
make sure it's not Steam though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kevin? Yeah.
Guys, do I have to bleep that out?
No, you don't. You don't. Just leave it in. Whatever. Too bad for that one guy. Let's just not repeat it. Let's just not do that again.
love you,
That
Luke.
you know how many times you would have to do it? They just keep saying it over and over.
That's why.
Yeah,
each
don't
time
get
a little
stressed.
Piece of me died.
Only the institution at the beginning that
I
shall
love you,
remain
Luke.
nameless.
Oh,
I love you, Luke.
I love you, Steen.
I love you, Luke.
I love you, Kyle.
They're gonna just keep doing it. What about you guys have heard about Stadia? Do you who here even knows what Stadia is?
Stadium Arcadium.
Nope, not that. That's one of the best Chili Peppers albums. Fight me.
I think
What's
that's
the
my
best?
favorite. That's my favorite.
I mean, the best one.
It's
Ooh.
obviously the Getaway.
I think it's.
I agree with that.
It's Unlimited Love. I think it's.
You take that back.
I like Stadium Arcadium. I think it's the best one.
Oh no, I think it's Californication, but Stadium Arcadium is close behind.
Stadium
for me.
Arcadium is my favorite.
Just Stadium Arcadium has it's long. It's just two albums.
I also think it
It's
is
beautiful. great, yeah.
Beautiful. It's like
Yeah.
all the way through.
Yeah.
Anyways, Stadia.
No, that yeah. Google Stadia. I don't know if they use that name, but it was a cloud-based service that was purchased by Google, right? It wasn't
Yes.
developed by Google, correct?
I thought it was.
Okay, maybe it was developed by Google. I thought that they had
but
like
now I'm unsure.
yeah, I thought that they had gotten bought out. But the news came in just a few weeks ago that they're shutting down to the surprise of only a friend of mine that invested a lot of money in the Stadia ecosystem.
Dude, that's effing
Oh,
bananas.
Yeah.
Shut the front door. Are you serious right now?
That's flipping crazy.
Okay. Pineapple. So what do you guys know about Stadia? Mike, have you heard about Stadia?
Yeah, someone I knew told me about Stadia before in the past.
Is it the same person I'm talking about?
Could be.
Okay.
I think that's the only person I know that really cared about that.
I
That's-
think you have to name.
No, we don't
Drop
have to
them.
name. Stop it.
No,
Continue.
Luke.
please, enough.
Luke,
There's so many rules that we're just breaking left and right this season. Stadia was a cloud-based service, but it wasn't like a subscription like Game Pass is or now PlayStation Plus. It was like you buy the games you want and you can stream those games. And Google, I said it from the beginning when Google was operating this, and my friend was like, "You got to try Stadium. It's like they were ahead."
Stadium?
Go ahead.
You said stadium again.
I okay. That's what you have to do. You have to nitpick. All right,
No, it was just like in
Stadia.
passing. It was in passing. Keep going.
Stadia. Now I don't even know what I was gonna say. Stadia.
Your friend was telling you about Stadia. and
Yeah,
it was
I warned
cloud.
them. I was like, and Google has never started something that they didn't love shutting down, like within 3 years.
that is true.
And here we are.
Yeah, like those glasses they had, huh? Never heard of them again.
You're right. And I was actually ready to get. Is that? Am I the
I
only
was
one?
hyped. That was cool.
I was
Sounds
like,
a cool idea.
I'm gonna be recording movies while I'm in the theater. I mean, never mind. Anyways, I have
Whoa.
I have a
I was not
conspiracy.
We're
expecting
just
that.
we're just committing crimes out here.
I have a conspiracy theory that's why that and privacy is probably the reason why those glasses just vanished off the face of the earth.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say is that Stadia was further in development than xCloud, which is kind of like what powers Game Pass. They've been in beta xCloud for like the beginning of time, right? But Stadia was like running much better. But you had to purchase each title, and they had a very limited library, right? So they shuttered. Stadia's gone, and we're left with Xbox and the recently launched PlayStation Plus, which allows you also to stream games, even through PC, like I was kind of mentioning to Link.
That's cool. I didn't know they had that.
That is cool.
Yeah, they
They
haven't
have to
marketed
catch
very
up.
much. Yeah. Yes, they have to catch up. And, we'll see what the future of that is. What do you think about that? A subscription-based service, playing console games on your PC?
I think
What?
it works.
How does this look? What?
I think it works, especially for older games, since I think Daniel mentioned earlier that paying 5 years later, paying for a game that's still $60 today, like
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of like, come on, you should lower the price after a certain amount of time. But putting a bunch of like old and new games too on a subscription service, I
Yeah.
think that works much, much better.
Yeah. And games aren't even $60 now because it's like in order to keep playing them, you need to get the DLC, and sometimes they're upwards of $100, $120. So yeah, I'm more willing, I think, to buy an expansion for a game that I got for free than I am to pay 2 times.
Streaming
for.
is the future, man. It
In
is
all
what it is.
aspects.
I mean, I think for the special ones, you go out of your way
Mhm.
and buy a physical copy. But for the most part, especially when you're getting like big releases day one from
Yeah.
these publishers, like
Mhm.
to me, that's where I see it trending. As like someone that's not necessarily into like maybe some smaller games, some more indie games.
Yeah.
You're telling me I'm gonna get Forza, Halo. I think they're even talking about doing Call of Duty day one on Game Pass.
Oh,
Like-
I think that's definitely gonna happen once the Activision sale
Why
goes
not?
through.
Like that. I mean, to me, that's the only way I see it going. Especially like the trend of it's following like film and TV.
Mm-hmm.
It's more accessible. That's the thing that people are wanting now is convenience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even comic books now, just as an aside, like DC just announced DC Infinite Universe, which is what their
Bro, what the heck are
comic-
they doing to your name?
Yeah.
man?
So now they have DC Infinite Ultra tier, which instead of the comics being 6 months delay, they're just 1 month delayed. So after 4 weeks, you get the book. Basically, you can follow DC Comics in real time without buying any comics. And it's like the introductory price is like $100 a year. Imagine getting every book that they publish for $100 a
Not
year.
bad at all.
Yeah, it really isn't.
And you share that with a friend.
Of course, yeah, pretty much. Have these gaming services opened you to any experiences that you might not have checked out before?
Well, for me, when I got Xbox Game Pass, a lot of games. You know that game It Takes Two? Anyone heard of that game
I've
before?
heard of that.
Yes.
Game.
I was able to play that game with my brother. It's basically like a co-op game where it's like a platformer, but kind of puzzles too.
Okay.
And you have to go through the whole thing with another player.
It's like playing Breath of the Wild, but with each player has a different controller. So one of you controls left and the other one control. I'm just kidding. That was a
That
thing
sounds
that
awesome though.
I saw a video of it online of like a couple that did it, and I was like, if I try this with my wife, our relationship will
You guys
end.
get divorced?
Yeah. I
It's-
was trying not to use the D word, but okay.
It's like it's two different characters.
Yeah.
The same.
Okay.
But,
So not that then.
not that.
I'm not interested anymore.
Game ruined.
Yeah.
But I mean, because of Game Pass, I was able to experience that, and I mean, it was a lot of fun. And we played another game that was made by the same developer. That was also like the same concept, 2 players. Like you always have to have one person with you to complete the game, and it was like a Prison Break story.
Mm-hmm.
I think the name of it was A Way Out.
Oh, Way Out. I played that because it was
Played
on
it?
Game Pass. Yeah.
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 It was really fun.
A kid came up to me and he was like, I was about to say my last name. I've never said that. He was like, Mister, you shared that game with me, and it was like one of the best experiences ever. Thank you for telling me to play A Way Out. And I was like, no problem. And then I was like, what's A Way Out?
Who are you?
Yeah. I never recommended that game.
Are
But
you
then,
even a student?
but then I went home and I played it. I was like, oh, this game's really good.
He doesn't even go here.
We've talked a little bit about sharing gaming with other people. What are some ways that you guys have shared games with others?
I mean, ever since the pandemic hit, like, thank God for Discord, because I would have had such a boring year. That's like the first time I really even started using Discord. I had honestly no idea what it was all about. I had Skype, but Discord is like way better.
True.
And
I use Blue Jeans, but continue.
and so basically, like,
The Lana Del
every
Rey song?
day, really, like, I get on with my friends from institution that I used to go to.
You could just say you're old school. Like
You're old school, yeah. You sound like Arkham or something.
It's kind of like
Me,
Arkham.
the Joker, the Riddler, we all get together.
Bane sometimes.
For
That
a
guy's a
game
little
night.
wild. You gotta put him in the mute chat sometimes.
Yeah,
Chat.
we play Almost Got Him, where we talk about how we almost beat Batman.
I get that reference.
Okay, good.
But but I mean, pretty much, and like to this day, like almost every day, I'm on Discord, calling with my friends, playing games, or not even playing games, just like hanging out sometimes. Usually playing games though. And like, if someone's not playing, like we'll go. Discord has like a live stream function. You show the game for everyone else in the call to watch, and it's fun. I play. One thing I did, I think we did it again last week. But we also used to do it like a couple years ago. You guys ever heard of the Jackbox party game?
Yes,
Oh yeah, I play it all the time with friends.
Yeah, my nephew
Yeah.
Mario Max streams it. Rest in peace, Mario Max.
Forget you, Mario Max.
Just wait till Luigi Max comes out.
I
It's
miss
gonna
you,
be
Mario
crazy.
Max.
Oh, you know what? Someone should create Luigi Max, and that's the person we support.
Yeah, no. Let's do that. Okay, stop. All right, continue.
But I mean, yeah, like every Saturday night we had a game night where we would get on calls. Someone would stream the Jackbox party pack.
Mm-hmm.
Our favorite one was the. You guys know the one where it's like you have to draw characters that fight each other,
Yeah.
like based off of prompts.
Oh yes, dude.
Yes, those get yeah. I'm guessing that your games devolved into exactly what me and my friends' games devolved into. That game was a mistake.
That game.
That game is so stupid.
Shout out to Panda Man.
Oh wow. Okay.
Panda Man.
Wherever you are.
Turned that game into.
Shout out to Panda Man. It was a great time.
So you were saying.
No, I mean,
I remember you telling me that you were getting interested in streaming, and you're like, oh, but I don't have a capture card, and I handed you like a cheap like $20. I'm like, take this, just start, just do it, you know, little, yeah.
I wanted to use it because my friends, they had to on Discord to whenever they played a Switch game.
Yeah.
I think like they would play like Splatoon 2 or whatever. They had the capture card to show it. I'm like, oh, cool. There's these games that I'm playing on the Switch. So, I could maybe get like an audience to like my friends. They can watch me play this too. Like when they added Earthbound to the online service, I had a bunch of friends that were like really into Earthbound.
Yeah.
But I've never played it.
I
before.
love Earthbound. Yeah, it was one of my favorite games growing up.
What changed?
I played a lot more games.
Changed.
There's a lot more games out there. But that was just crazy to me to have you kind of doing this like streaming, not for the public, not for the masses, but in these like smaller spaces, like in these intimate settings. To me, that was just fascinating to me to see where gaming has come. And as we wind down to where we are today, my question to you guys is, who's winning? And it's not Microsoft versus Sony. Are the game developers or are the players? Who's in control right now? Like, who does our gaming culture benefit more? The companies that make these games or the players themselves?
Can I tell you who's losing?
Yeah, go right ahead.
All
Justice.
the employees for each
Oh.
one of these companies. They're losing.
Okay, how so?
Crunch time.
The gym?
Rushing games. And,
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the gym.
gains.
They force all the employees to get their gains.
Yeah.
That's winning in my book.
But yeah, there's this thing called crunch time where they just push employees to their limit, and it's a really big problem in the gaming industry right now.
I mean, I think it's a really big problem, like industry-wide
everything, yeah,
through entertainment. Yeah, we've talked about the Marvel animators. We've talked about these
Manga
impossible
writers.
deadlines. Yeah, the writers, the bidding wars at these small companies just to get, you know, a deal. Even Game Pass. I love Game Pass as a service, but a lot of smaller developers, they end up losing money in these deals to get on Game Pass just so somebody can play their games. So hopefully they'll have the income to generate the second one that they can sell directly to consumer.
Yeah, like Square Enix.
Yeah.
Or is it Ubisoft?
Poor Square Enix. What?
One of those companies put a bunch of money into crypto and lost that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
right.
think it was Square Enix.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so too.
That blew my mind thinking about that. Like, as a company, why?
Oh, that feels
They're
right. That feels
Why?
gonna
good.
incorporate it to the new game.
That doesn't feel good for the people that work for the company that are gonna have to take a pay cut.
Yeah, or get laid off.
Yeah.
So
You
Dan,
put it that way.
so oh yeah, you know,
Oh,
you're not
Dan's
thinking.
a big crypto dude.
Yeah,
That's
you're
what I
not
forgot.
thinking with a capitalistic mind, okay? If the bottom line
Yeah,
for
my
the
bad.
company goes down, we gotta cut labor.
You gotta cut everyone else.
Exactly.
So again, the employees are always losing.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
start calling you Crypto Dan.
that
Please
that
don't.
that doesn't roll off the tongue.
To me, it
Crypto
does.
Dan.
Crypto Dan. Crypto Dan. Crypto Dan. See?
Yeah,
Say
it
enough,
grew on
it
me.
is-
It grew on
exactly.
me. Okay, so Dan thinks that the creators are the ones that are losing, right, in our current structure. What about you guys?
I think I'm losing
Why?
because I've only played one great game in the past like 5 years.
Do you think there's only been one great game in the past 5
No.
years? So why are you losing?
Because I should have been playing more.
Mm.
Which game did you play?
Elden Ring.
That game's
Oh
awesome.
yeah, you poured in. I remember you told me Elden Ring, it's amazing. I was like, is it a Game Pass? And you're like, no. And I was like, all right, I'll wait.
I mean, it's a commitment. I'm not gonna lie. But I love that game. That's one of the games. That's one of the games like I'll go out of my way. I'll buy it again. Like whatever it is. That's like to me, it's like a special game. That The Witcher 3. Like there's some games that it's just like they stand out to you.
I mean, I
And-
think.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry to cut you off.
No,
but
go
I
right
No,
ahead.
think
it's okay. Cut me off. It's all right.
That
Just
kind of
Don't be rude.
raises another like
ignore what I say.
problem with game streaming is choice paralysis. You bought Elden Ring,
Yeah.
so you sat down and played it. When you don't own these games, there's no commitment to play them, and you might just
Mhm.
not play anything.
You're like a kid in a candy store.
That is true. We have
You're
all
like a
games.
kid in a candy store.
Yeah, check out our episode last season, Kid in a Candy Store. We talk about this choice paralysis.
But not naming not actually giving the reference.
Yeah. That happened with me. I let my Game Pass expire. I think I talked about it that week. But like I was like,
You don't have Game Pass anymore?
no, it's been a couple of months actually. My Game Pass expired the weekend before I left to Hawaii and Alaska in June, and I said, you know what? I'm not gonna be here for June, and I'm probably gonna be busy in July. Let me just see how long I can go. It's October now.
So Fortnite is the Game Pass killer, confirmed.
Yeah, pretty much. Microsoft shouldn't have allowed us to play free-to-play games without gold. It was there.
That's another thing.
I let
Free-to-play
mine
games,
die
man.
too.
Stepping up their games.
Yeah, Dan.
Kid.
I let my Game Pass die too.
Oh, I still think it's a great service, and I'm definitely gonna get on it. But I'm waiting also to see how this family Game Pass thing works.
Oh no! Wait, did they auto charge you? Like recharge you for the year?
Yeah,
I guess I still got Game Pass.
Oh, I
you
guess.
should probably check that because they're probably billing you monthly at the most expensive rate. So
Don't wait for me. Keep talking.
okay, what about you guys? Who do you think's winning? The players, the people, the platforms, the company?
I feel like it's a two-way relationship.
Okay.
If the players are winning, if the players are winning, the company is winning. You get me?
Mhm.
Because satisfied players leads to money for the what's the company? There you go. Forgot
Right.
The word. And then I mean, with how accessible games have become now, like, yeah, there is like the oh my gosh, what do I play? Because there's so much. But I've been enjoying that exclusives have been like they're not really being that exclusive anymore, I would
Yeah.
say. Like
Mhm.
I think one of the big ones was the Spider-Man game getting onto PC.
Yeah. Actually, a
And
lot of the Sony games.
A lot of Sony, like
Or is it Horizon Zero Dawn? I know is on there.
God
God
of
of War.
War.
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that's that's a good way of handling exclusives. Like you have it on the console first,
Mm-hmm.
then after maybe a year, then you put it where it's accessible to a lot of other people.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a window of time or like a limited release exclusive. All right. What about you, Link? What do you think?
I actually don't know who's winning between the consumers and
Corporations, companies.
corporations. Yeah, I think that I enjoy the idea of streaming your games. I think it's only going to get better,
Mhm.
right? As technology improves. But yeah, I want to say that the consumers are winning, but I don't feel comfortable saying that completely.
I think overall, but there are definitely like some issues too that come
Yeah.
with that relationship between the player and the company. Like I'm mainly a Nintendo guy.
Mhm.
I don't have a PlayStation, and the only Xbox games I have are on Game Pass. But like with Nintendo lately, like I've just not been interested in most of the stuff they've been releasing. I've gotten I got Splatoon 3 because all my friends are playing it.
Right.
But I mean, I'm like on and off on it. I'm only really playing it if I see people in a call that are playing it. And now that all my friends, they all moved to Overwatch 2 now. That's like the big thing everyone's
There's an
playing.
Overwatch 2?
Yeah, I can't play because I don't have a cell phone.
There's another one? Wait, when did that come out?
Came out
Like
like
recently,
this
Yeah,
week?
actually, I'm not the only one not playing it because it got DDoS attacked
Oh yeah.
for like an entire week. So like,
Those first 2 days are rough. I think that the queue time was like 20,000 players.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like trying to get a Marvel movie ticket on AMC A-list. You're never getting in.
Yeah, Black Panther wasn't that bad. We got
Back in the day.
back in the day, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
No Way Home. I think maybe gaming is just like so many other facets of our life where we see steps towards progress, but we also see regression or trends that are more harmful to the gaming environment than they are beneficial. But we see these things, we point them out, and we make decisions in our lives. We make decisions with the money we spend, and sometimes even more importantly, the time we spent. And that's the only thing we can do. Put our money where our mouth is and put our fists. I don't know where I was going with that. It's your facial expressions that just throw me off. This video thing.
But where was that
definitely-
supposed to go?
You put your fist. You know what? Listen, there's good, there's bad, there's ugly. But I'm not talking about just us, the hosts on the show. Gaming as a whole.
are we ugly?
That's mean. Who's the good, who's bad, and who's the ugly?
All right, really quick. Who's the good, bad, and ugly?
I'm the fist.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
I'm so
I'm
funny.
the
I wanted to be the fist.
I'm the ugly.
I want it to be the fist.
I'm the bad.
I'm the games.
That wasn't one of the choices. So I guess you're good, Dan. Anyways, we see things we don't like. We see things we like. Gaming is in flux and it is changing every day. We talked about everything from cloud-based gaming to VR, handhelds. We didn't even touch upon Steam Deck and what that means for the future of computing and handheld gaming. And the games that we're going to play 10 years from now, that the generation after is going to play, is not even going to look like the kind of gaming that we played either growing up or right now. But you either adapt or you die. And I think gaming can be on the rise and on the decline, depending on what perspective you have. Today we had 5 voices here with various different opinions on what gaming means to them and where they see it developing. And as we continue to develop our lives as gamers, and as we continue to develop this show, we invite you to join us on this journey. Thank you, Mike, for joining us, or Bartholomew, rather. And thanks to our listeners and our viewers. Till next time, keep searching.
Bye.